And always came in on time, did our jobs, didn't fuck around. Might have smelled a little bad because once you get sweating in that summer heat and you've been drinking like we did, it don't smell nice. But we got the job done.
Yeah. No, one of my jobs every Thursday, my gay best friend there and I, we would go out, and then we'd be out till like 2, 3 in the morning till the metro's closed basically, and then I'd come home, manage to barely wake up in time Friday morning, get to work. And then you would see us at the department office meeting, sunglasses, jug of coffee,
right.
half dead. We're like, are you guys okay? And we'd be like, yeah, we'll be fine in like 8 hours.
No, I know there were probably a couple of times I walked into work and I was probably still buzzed because I had barely slept it off in the parking lot. And people were like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, let's do this. Wait, don't you have to get stuff down with the forklift? I'll be all right. And I was. That was the thing. Like my manager one day, not Aaron, even though he was one. My manager one day was like, "You don't look so good. Let me get on the forklift and help you out." And then she took out one of the racks in our stock room, and I was like, "Really? You're gonna help me?"
I can handle this better.
All right, I'm gonna take advantage. I have a topic, Aaron.
Yo.
What is it like doing? So I'm guessing you're a local comedian in the VA area, or do you travel through the DMV?
DMV.
And how is the comedy scene in this area?
Where are you located?
They're like Northern Virginia.
We're Northern Virginia. We're close to DC.
We're basically DC. We're close to
Okay. I will say the ones that I've done up there, the crowd was actually more receptive than I expected. So, like the DMV area, you kind of got your areas like that are a little bit more upscale and kind of more modern. Then you got your, different other areas. For the most part, it was universal, the entire area. Like I didn't really go to one and be like, okay, wow, okay, so they don't like this, they don't like that. They were very receptive, and I didn't get as much chatter up north than I do like more down south.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, the places were more of they kind of were more about atmosphere versus like just a straight bar, So that was also different. Now I haven't done many, like enough to say I've done 12 in each area, but the ones that I've seen so far, I was very, very pleased. Even Baltimore was fun, man. Baltimore was fun. Like they just laughed. Even granted, when you're drunk or if you're like in a party area, people are gonna have fun. But I remember Baltimore was hella receptive, yo.
It just dawned on me because
And what do you?
I don't know why, but it just dawned on me. We have like an all Virginia Drunk Upon a Time tonight.
Yes.
So and
they're like northern, middle, south.
So more to pick your brain. The person that most of his life was like, oh, because I tell stories. But as a because my thing is I would never do an open mic.
Why?
Stuff.
Why not?
Because I feel like I don't want to fall into that stereotype where I notice like minority comedians.
Ain't no stereotype.
I just don't want to be like my mom is like, and I'm like,
it's not like that anymore. That the stereotype that is the stereotype of the stereotype, but it's not like that anymore. Like basically, what you're saying is everybody is hacky, and they're not. Like not even close, because it's you're gonna like have so many different. It's just times are just too different now. Everybody travels. It's too much communication. So you're gonna get people who are just traveling to work on different stuff. You may get people who've never done it before. People trying new material. If anything, open mic, you're bound to have a much better time than something you would really pay money for real.
Yeah.
So how do you write your stuff?
Yes, I write. Like I usually pick a topic and I kind of like dance around a couple different. I guess punches inside, and then I'll try to leave one spot open for something inside the bar that night. So basically to kind of point out something that everybody might have noticed or not have noticed. That way I kind of have something on topic, something about myself,
right.
something everybody can be in on. And then I try to keep, you know, somewhat of a formula like that the entire time.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not stretch it out.
I'm not nearly as experienced as the man down here at Uncle Keenan, but I've done a couple of open mic nights, and honestly, it's really just about being yourself, trying to make people laugh. Because when you try
and
to
you
be
only
like,
have like 3 to 5 minutes, so you
right,
can't get
and
up there and tell.
And when you try to be like
story.
hacky and do something out of your comfort zone, it don't come out right. It don't feel right. It makes people kind of like yeah, people turn quick. So like, I'll just get up. I'll tell a quick story with some jokes in it, like I kind of do here, and make people laugh. Even if it's like people just laughing at my misery kind of thing, like the date story that I was telling. You know, it's like it's a funny story when you're not involved in it.
Yeah,
me,
you also got to.
It was miserable, but if you hear it, you might laugh.
Yeah,
it's more about like avoiding stereotypes and just trying to do what's comfortable for you. Because if it don't come off right, people aren't gonna respond to it
immediately. And the mic don't lie.
and he's more experienced, and he's backing me up on this. So yes, it's one of those things where you got to kind of keep it genuine to yourself and not worry about like what other people do or be hacky or stereotypical. Just do you, basically.
I mean, and it's probably your biggest fear, like in life, that you overcome if you can get on stage, regardless of what it is or if it's not comedy. Being able to be vulnerable and have people by the masses just not like you for a split second. Nothing will make you like.
That's the worst.
There's nothing else you can't really be afraid of in life after that, because you're publicly making like people not laugh at you when you're trying. You know, or if you say a joke that didn't go over well and they start booing or something like that, like nothing brings you that type of power from the negative side than
like first time I did it, I was just nervous as hell, and I got up and I started talking, and I got through like the first joke, and I heard like 4 or 5 people on the side just start laughing. I was like, oh shit. Yeah. And then immediately like it was like butthole unpuckered, and now I could be me, and I've got people laughing and shit, and like by the end of the first time, they're telling me like your time is up, and as I'm leaving, people are booing because they want me to stay. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I was so nervous, and at the end, people actually were like telling them to bring me back, and I was like, it's okay, I don't have shit left to talk about, so you can take me off.
Yeah, it's worth doing, man. I tell everybody they should do it. Like, it's so freeing, man, to just get up there and say basically whatever you want, regardless of how people are going to react to it, because you don't get a chance to do that and it be sociably acceptable in any other situation, you know?
It's one thing, like, I might
you can just get up there.
I might say something on one of these shows that makes somebody laugh, but I'm never going to know. But when you're actually like standing on a stage and you say something and a whole room of people just start busting out laughing, you're like, oh shit.
It's one of the rare times when you feel smarter than somebody. Like collectively, because if you made all these people,
I don't know if I felt smarter, but it was like the first time I got a whole like room, even if it was small, like a whole room of people laugh at something I said. I had that Dave Chappelle moment in my head where I was like, "Gotcha, bitches!"
Yeah, that's a form of that's a smartness. That means you were able to create something that tricked everybody into thinking it was funny, even if you wasn't, or you made it funny. Like, that's what makes it so cool. There's a level of like high end, like it's like a positive audacity, I guess. Like to be able to do that, man. Like I think of some of the shit I said, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like they actually laugh.
Like, why'd they laugh at that?
And some of it you can be very serious about. Like you can get up there. Like I went up there and I said something about myself. I was like, I had edibles or whatever. I said something about myself that like really was like a little personal. And when I say they laughed at it, but it was kind of like the Joker when he just got up on the car and started like doing all that. It's kind of like, oh, you're fucking crazy, aren't you? Like, yep.
That's me.
And you know what else is cool about it? And you guys were talking about the writers on the WWE. You can literally make up anything. You can be who you want for that one brief moment, and they got to take your word for it. Like you could say, I was a pimp in Japan. And I used to breed Siamese cats, and everybody's like, "Oh shit, I'm interested in this guy all of a sudden."
I think like one thing, like one shtick that I was like thinking is going in with a fake name and like basically making people like, what do you think I am? And then just be like, because I've been called everything.
You could.
It's like, oh, you're Armenian or you're Moroccan.
Oh,
and then
okay.
it's like, nah.
Oh.
It's like, I'm sorry. My name, if you saw it on a resume, you'd probably think he couldn't even read English. It's Jose.
Okay, that is kind of funny.
See, that works. That's all you gotta say.
Because like that,
so
what is it? Remember that time I was walking with you and this homeless lady followed us? This homeless lady followed us for a good while, asking her. She didn't talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
She kept asking her, is he Israeli? Is he Israeli?
Is he a terrorist?
Is he Israeli? And I'm like, why doesn't she ask me? Why doesn't she ask me?
Like, I can speak English, you know.
Or you know how many homeless people I'll like give money to or something, or like give them food, and they'll like quickly be like, "Salam alaikum, my man," and I'm like, "Sorry, my man, alaikum salam," but I'm not.
That's because y'all in that part of Virginia.
No, I gotta tell you, there was one day I was doing like yard work, so I was wearing like torn jeans, and I got my shirt all dirty and everything. And I had to go down the street to get gas, buy a pack of cigarettes, whatever. So I put the gas in my car, and then I come out and I smoke a cigarette because I got gas in my car. So I'm not going to fuck around. So I go back to the front of the shop, and I'm smoking a cigarette. And as I'm finishing my cigarette and I go to put it out, somebody's handing me money. And I'm like, huh? And I turn around, and they put the money in my hand, and they're like, I hope you find a place to stay someday. I'm like, motherfucker, I live a quarter of a mile away in a 4-bedroom house. What are you handing me money? Take that. Wait a minute. Is that a 20? Never mind. I'm keeping that shit. I just made my gas money back.
Baby. Just say thank you. Just say thank you. Keep it moving. But thank you. God bless, baby. Thank you.
I think the weirdest one is a dude asked me, how was I? Because we served time together.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
And I was like, hold on, what?
Wait, what?
I hope I didn't shank you or anything. Like, I hope whoever you're mistaking me for didn't stab you or rape you.
You know, I mean, it goes.
He did all of it twice.
He did all of it.
It goes to show you.
Together, that was the.
It just goes to show you, like, especially with the way shit is right now. Like, you can look at somebody and think that you know them, and you just fucking don't. Like, you might think, oh, Aaron, he's this, nah. Like, this motherfucker is one of a kind. You might try to stereotype it, but he is nothing like that. I've known him for a long, long, long ass time, and he's brought shit up to me that you would never think will come out of his mouth. But if you just look at him, you don't know. If you just look at me in my tattered clothes, you might think I'm homeless. You don't know I'm living in like a 4-bedroom down the street. You know? Wait, if you look at Jose, you might think he's a terrorist. He's not even close.
Actually, this is terrorist. If it gets longer, then I get Shabbat Shalom.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
When I get to Rasputin,
gotta have a curl.
When I get to Rasputin level, this curls up, and people start being like, "Yo, Shabbat Shalom." I'm like, dude.
That's the biggest thing. You see these people, and they're just like, well, how do I do this? Or how do I change my thought? How do I do that? Don't just look at somebody and think you know them, because you probably fucking don't.
My favorite though is I had a friend who went to Israel, and he's a ginger, and he's a part of the tribe, and he went out there to study. He came back, and his mind was blown. He was like, Jose, I just came to the realization, you look Israeli. If you just had the accent, I would have thought there were so many people that look like you.
Well, if you just walked around talking like somebody from Don't Mess with the Zohan, and then you would just it has so many guts.
I should just practice that accent.
You really should. If I wear black eyeliner,
disco,
like bottom and lower lid, I get asked if I'm Indian, and people come up to me and like their language, and I'm like,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I'm so sorry.
Don't think you can just judge a book by its cover.
Egyptian embassy roll up on me and start speaking Arab. I was like,
Turkey.
One winter I had a scarf on because I couldn't find my beanie, so I had my scarf on over my head, and it was like a windy day. tucked into my coat, and I was on the metro, and this Middle Eastern lady sees me, and I like it was like a little bit here, so you could see some of my hair. And then she started talking to me in her language, and I was like, I'm so sorry, I don't speak
Right.
it. And she's like, oh, it is such a shame. Or people come to this country and they lose their language and their heritage and da-da-da. It's haram to lose your culture, child. And she's tucking
not one of you.
fixing my scarf, and I'm just like
like
I couldn't stop her because I was confused, but thankful because my ears were extra warm. And when she was done, I was one, I'm not Muslim, I'm actually Christian, and two, I'm Latina, not Middle Eastern, and three, thank you, my ears are a lot warmer. And she was just like, I am so sorry.
So sorry. So very, very sorry.
Best one, metro.
Like,
I was on the metro, and this guy rolls up to me and in broken English and like mixed Russian asks me if I can help him. And all I could say back to him was, what is it? Man, I am gone.
Too many beers.
oh, so we, I was gonna name.
I was like, dude, I can't.
I was gonna name some random like semi-young girl idiot of the week this week for a similar reason, because like we were talking about, like our cars just have like Bose stereos or whatever, like you can bump shit in them. I was on my way to the grocery store with my son. He's kind of in a bad mood, and I bring up some music, and I get to I'm Bad by LL Cool J, and all of a sudden he starts smiling. And he starts nodding his head. So when I saw that, he was already in a bad mood. So I'm trying to cheer this kid up. I cranked it. And he's bopping, he's smiling, he's dancing. And I got all the windows down. And I pull into this grocery store parking lot, and all the spaces are taken. So I got to come around the front, try to get to the next lane. And as I'm coming around the front of the store, this little, like maybe 20-year-old whatever, saw my car, heard the music, turns around, and just tells me, turn that shit down, N-word. And I was like, what? Because like it was so loud, I heard it over my music. And so I parked the truck, I jump out, I leave the music playing because I don't want my son to hear what I'm about to say to this bitch.
Smart.
I walk up, and as I'm walking up, I said, listen, I don't know what the fuck you were thinking, but you need to stop that bullshit. Because one, if you turn and you look at the front of the store you're about to walk into, there are 3 employees that look just like Aaron sitting there on a bench looking at you, and the only reason they're not killing you is because they get paid to be here.
Every day of my life.
Yep.
Yeah. I was like, secondly, you are way too young to be this goddamn ignorant and this goddamn outdated. Like, get some new software, bitch. Like, do something. Because if all it takes for you to scream that nasty, ignorant shit in a public parking lot with these people sitting here is to hear a truck roll by with rap music blasting in it, you're gonna have a rough fucking life. And as I turned and walked away,
something else gonna hear blasting when they come past there.
As I walked away, the people that were like out front because they were on their break, like do whatever at the grocery store, just start going like this.
One time I was walking across.
So that bitch is definitely idiot of the week.
Here we go. This is from like many moons ago when I was a poor broke college kid working in Georgetown. I did not have enough money for public transportation. So I was walking across the Key Bridge in the middle of winter. Why does this always happen to me in winter? Coats, everything on. And a car drives past me, and I just hear, "You fucking raghead." And I was like, what the hell are they yelling at like that? That's just some rude ass.
You're like, wait, me?
And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm looking around to see who else is offended with me. No one's offended with me.
Who else is offended with me?
Because I'm alone on that bridge. It's just me, the Holy Ghost, and
no.
winter wind. And I was like, you dumb bitch calling me the wrong racial slur. If you're going to be ignorant, be correctly ignorant. Call me a wetback or an anchor baby, but don't call me the wrong
thing. Right. I even told the girl, I'd rather be what you called me than some ignorant bitch that just screams this shit out in front of people you offended the fuck out of, while someone was just trying to make their 9-year-old feel better. Like, fuck you.
Positive.
You're a goddamn idiot.
A little positive spin with a dark humor twist.
Uh-oh.
A while back, I'm working, and a lady comes into the store, and she's like, there's this woman outside just yelling, obscenities at the building. So, okay, I'll go outside, and I go outside, and it's a homeless lady. and she's just yelling at the sky, you know, saying into the void, just all this other stuff, and it's a crowd looking at her. And then they look at me like, because I have my uniform on, they think I'm going to do something. Look at all of them, and I go, I have a rude awakening. It's all, you know what? She's just showing you what's going to happen to all of us. Heading that way.
Yep.
We're all heading that way. And the homeless guy across that was asking for change. Wait.
He's not wrong.
It's true. It's true.
Hell yes.
And then I went back. Inside. I was like, man, get out of here.
We ain't gonna be doing nothing.
Like, man, you know, it's stuff like that just makes me look at people, and I see like walking like Betamax tapes or pagers or something. Like, they still make you. For real?
Hey, come on, man. That was my favorite era. I just like living in that sometimes. I love my
era,
Betamax,
but you know what I'm
man.
saying? Like, so goddamn obsolete in this day and age. And you're just like, what? Like, really? You must be 20. How the fuck did you end up this way? Because I gotta tell you,
it just shows you that
being like an ignorant, racist motherfucker does not come from like. It doesn't come from genes.
All the information.
You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't matter look, we have the internet on our phones. We have a whole Library of Congress right here.
Yep.
And yet people are still that goddamn ignorant.
Yeah, like people are people. Like, I'm just like, my thing is,
because it's not like, because again, it's not like this is something that somebody's born this way. You know, this is not like, oh, well, you're gay, you can change. No, gay people born that way. I was born straight. I knew it from when I was like 4. I was like, oh. It's not like racism is born.
I don't know. I was born to learn that when the lights go out, we're all God's children.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's not like these people are born this way. They're fucking made this way. You know, my son is 9. My son has a little girlfriend named Kaya, and Kaya wants to marry him today. Like, she got mad at him because another girl gave him a Valentine. Like that committed at 9. She was like, whose diaper is this? Because of the Valentine. She got mad at him.
Players got mad at him. She had animal crackers. No, seriously. She had animal crackers, baby.
She got mad. She got mad at my son because another girl gave him a Valentine. So she walked up and bit him on the fucking arm just because he got another Valentine.
Whoa. Where's your Valentine, baby? Where's your Valentine?
Right? That no, she gave him some. I got it on the fridge over here where she like wrote down stuff for him, like I love you and your backpack. You know, I hope your day is the best.
What was the other Valentine?
One day we're gonna be, and it literally says there's a blank, and she wrote married. And
did he get a G.I. Joe Valentine?
The Valentine was just
like
it was a paper with a heart on it, and had all these fill in the blanks.
She really liked you.
I gotta dig up the actual Valentine, but this is just some stuff they did in class for their favorite Valentine. So she wrote down stuff for him, and it says like, "I hope one day we are," and she wrote married. Kaya is like the most adorable little black girl. I give 2 fucks, and neither could my son. This shit ain't boring. You're not
like, ladies,
right? He don't give a damn. Like he's hitting on like 22-year-old pharmacist girls behind the counter. Like, like he don't give a shit. But the thing, like I'm just saying, it's not like he was born and he just went, ew, no, you're different. Like, no, he was raised that just everybody's the fucking same. And if you don't believe
ignorance is taught.
How many different races are dying from this fucking virus? We're all the fucking same one way or the other. I don't care what you believe. I don't care who you pray to. I don't care what fucking color you are. We're all dying from this goddamn virus. There are people out there looting. They're all different colors. Looting.
I'm gonna die right now.
Wouldn't it be fun like laughing and it really happened? And we're like, Aaron,
like this ignorant bitch.
Hey, I can't cut my phone off because y'all from out of town.
You know, and I'll be, you know, this ignorant bitch that I named Idiot of the Week. Like she was raised this way. Otherwise, you know, what else would make you just scream that at somebody driving by in a car with rap music playing?
She probably watched Miley Cyrus.
Yeah. Today my shoes were untied and people kept going, Jose, your shoes are untied. I don't want you to fall. And I'm like, look, I'm not strong enough to do it myself. Let me do Final Destination on my own time. Jesus.
Wait, is John Denver playing? I'm all right. Uh-oh, I better tie that damn shoe.
Oh, fuck. I can't with y'all.
That's when you know. If John Denver kicks on, you can't play games anymore.
Yeah,
No, but at least I had to get serious for a minute. I know, but I had to because this bullshit just. And can people stop bitching about Colin Kaepernick now? Like all that shit. Oh, he's disrespecting the flag. He's disrespecting the troops. He's doing it. No, he's not. He never was.
Well, most
he never had anything to do with the troops.
Most troops
Not
didn't
once.
care. Most people that served were like, it's his right. Like, what do you?
Oh, I know. But that's you know, Aaron and I were like huge sports guys, and you don't know how many different like sports outlets, the president, all these people just knocked him until he was basically blackballed from his job. And it's
we
like,
have a lot of friends and family that are.
How about now?
And they were just like, no fucks.
I never did. I defended the guy from the jump because I knew what
I didn't
he was
even
doing.
know it was offensive. Like
I didn't either. Like
I
people
saw
were
so
saying,
many
"Oh,
bikinis with
well,
American flags on their butts."
People were saying like, "Oh, well, he's disrespecting the troops," and I'm like, "How? He's not protesting troops."
No.
Like, you know, how the fuck is he doing that? Well, he's disrespecting the flag. No, he's standing up for.
He didn't burn the flag. He didn't wipe his ass with it. So no.
He knelt.
Acting.
Tim Tebow knelt all the fucking time and prayed to a God that, you know, half the world doesn't pray to. Did you see anybody freak the fuck out? Never.
Actually, a good chunk of them pray to the same guy.
We just have to from.
They just have different paths to it. And names. Jehovah!
He took a fucking knee. Oh, God. So disrespectful. To who?
The coach asked him to take a knee before the game when he talks to him anyway.
Right?
Sure.
Oh, but not while the flag, because then you're disrespecting the troops.
Yeah.
But there was no flag involved. It's the national anthem.
That's what I'm saying. It didn't matter. You're disrespecting the country. You're disrespecting the flag. You're disrespecting the truth. People took it so fucking far. It was ridiculous. And it's like, if that's what you think, you're not really understanding the message. And it turns out you didn't. Because now there's all kinds of people. Oh, well, maybe we should have listened to him back then. I don't know.
If you want to hear about troops, talk to minorities that fought in Desert Storm. They'll tell you how they feel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My cousin, he was thrown in first in the round. He got gassed.
Woo.
And now that man's yeah, no.
I got no words for that. I can't. I'm just like, fuck.
My grandfather fought in the war, and people are like, "Oh, was he in the Hispanic unit?" I'm like, no, he was in the colored unit because he was Puerto Rican. They were lumped in, and if you see pictures, he's in segregated areas, like.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And now he came back depressed and alcoholic because how do you go from Puerto Rico where people are mixing to a place where it's like, nah, you can't be over here.
Yeah. It weighs heavy on the soul, that's for sure.
It does.
Yep.
And you served a country that doesn't even try to represent your country properly?
No. That's to me. I had people in my family, all throughout my family growing up, serve, and they're Native American, and they're like, and people would ask, well, like, did you feel proud representing your country? And they're like, sort of, except, well, you know, you kind of threw us out. So it's kind of hard to feel proud. I mean, I did my job. That's basically what I did my job.
Most people of color that serve, they're like, I did my job.
Yeah.
I did a job.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's got to be the dirtiest goddamn job to have, you know?
Heck, look at the Bamas that came back from Vietnam. What is it? The Marines were like, they had a saying, like the ones that were disenchanted, they were like, they had a whole saying. It was, eat the apple, fuck the core.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. No, the troops from Nam, Jesus, they had it rough.
Yeah, they did.
Because that was like usually when we go to war, the people that come back are kind of heroes or whatever the fuck. People coming back from Vietnam, like most of the country fucking hated them. And it was like, really? Because I went there for you. Yeah, we still fucking hate you.
You know what I was telling Wendy, we were like waiting in like one of those car lines at Starbucks, and they had a sign that was like, what is it? happy graduation.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I bet all these kids.
Way to go,
I bet all these kids think it's like the most depressing that they had to like do Zoom graduations. Imagine not even attending your graduation and getting sent
drafted.
off, getting drafted,
right?
and your graduation was jumping out of a helicopter in a rice paddy.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if you think you got it rough, somebody's probably had it rougher than you. So
that's always
we
the
were
case.
Also saying, we were remembering like when they were like doing the World War II memorial, and they were doing like the ceremony to open it up and everything. A buddy of mine, his grandpa was in World War II, and he was there with his old wool uniform in the summer as these youngins were fainting in like cotton uniforms, and his grandpa was like, look at these fucking
bitches.
He's like, I'm sitting here 100 years old in wool, strong like a bull, mother. In his wheelchair.
Yeah, but that mind's a different mindset.
What my 19th birthday was, they kicked me out of an airplane over fire in Germany.
Right.
Damn.
Like they just
my 21st birthday was
they
spent
just
on
don't
the beaches
make
of
people like they used to. It's ridiculous.
Dude, they don't build broads like they used to. I worked with this old lady. She fell and busted her. She came back the next day, and people were like, "Are you?" I was like, "They don't make that model anymore."
You talking about Sharon?
They really don't.
Man, don't nobody make them like Miss Sharon no more.
No, so like even my own mom, like we'd have house parties even before we were old, even before we weren't old enough to drink. We'd have house parties, and my parents would just, keep us all in the house, let us drink, do whatever. And one of my buddies from the football team, our tight end, who was like 240 pounds, got wasted, passed out like face first on the toilet, and we don't even notice because like we're partying, we're drinking, we're having a good time. My mom comes up, she notices. And she's calling people trying to get help. Nobody comes. So my mom decides, well, fuck it. I'll take care of it. She grabs this dude, 240 pounds. My mom was 4'11", big, wide, happy-looking Italian woman. Grabs him, puts him on her shoulders like firemen's carry his ass, walks him down a hall, and I don't notice until she's like right up on my bedroom because we're all chilling, listening to music. And I see her, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I come out, and I watch her carry this dude all the way into the spare room where we had this little couch. And she just takes him and tosses him on this fucking couch. I was like, how the hell did you do that? She's like, just what I do. And she walked away and grabbed her drink. I was like, fuck. This cute little Italian woman. Like, I know Aaron probably saw her in the store a couple times. She was like barely 5 feet tall. She's this little chunky Italian woman with glasses, curly hair. You would have never picked up a dude that outweighed her by at least 50 pounds and just carried him all the way across the house and tossed him on the couch.
My mom's mom, my abuelita, was about the same, like 4'11", teeny tiny petite lady. And mom always tells the story at the time. One of my uncles was a boxer, right? And he used to spar with the national champion of Nicaragua, Alexis Arguello, which if you don't know, look him up. The man could knock you out first round, like not 30 seconds into it. And my uncle could go 12 rounds with that man at the age of 16, right?
Wow.
So my uncle came home one morning at like 6 a.m, trying to sneak into the house before church so he could come in, change, and get ready to go. My abuelita was sitting in the bushes with a broom waiting for his ass. He opens the gate and bam, she smashes the broom on him, breaks it in half, picks up the half that she broke and just keeps wailing on him.
Oh
and
my.
He's like, oh my God, Ma, I'm sorry. She's like, no, I'm sorry. What are you deviant? Smack, smack, smack. Out there with the girls. Smack, smack. Drinking the hell out of him. And she was a
not raising any babies.
God-fearing woman who would give you the coat off her back. And she
No, my mom was the same way.
He had to
Mom
come
was the same way.
Shouldn't be coming home that late.
My mom always told me, if you ever think to raise your hand at me in anger, you can swing, but I'll guarantee you, I won't fight clean.
Right?
I will get you.
Wow.
I will get you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my, what the I'm not doing anything.
Yeah. No, my mom would get like mad at me. She'd start yelling at me and shit. And I'd yell back and she's like, oh no, you're going to shut the fuck up.
Oh, you want to go?
If you want to start, like, sweetest woman, again, give you the coat off her back, like gave kids like hand-me-down clothes from my older brothers when they didn't have them, like coats and shit. But she just looks, she gets this mean look on her face. She just say, oh no, you're not going to raise your voice to me. You're not going to start something because I'll fucking finish it. And I was like, oh shit. Like you know that gif of Homer backing into the bush? That was me just going, I'm gonna head out. Just bye.
No, I always tell Jose the first time I went to his house to like meet his brothers and the whole family and everything, his mom called his brother Willie and was like, I need you to go to the water box across the street from the neighbors. And Willie's like looking confused as hell, like, the water box across the street from the neighbors? Like, what? And she's like, you don't forget it. I'll get it when I get home. I was like, what the hell? Hangs up. And so we're all just like, whatever. Okay, cool. We just all of a sudden hear car turned off, like just headlights in the windows. And she's slamming the door, slams the door open. I was like, oh my God. And I'm sitting on the couch like, did I just walk into? Mind you, she's my size, okay? Tiny woman. And Willie comes out with his little drink, like, sup, mom? She snatches him by the hair and she grabs him, walks him to the water cooler that was facing the neighbor's house. And she's like, the water cooler across the street from the neighbor's house. Do you see it? Do you see it? And she
What the world?
gets what she needs. And then she comes over to me. Hi, Wendy. How are you, sweetie? How's that? I was like,
I'm good. I'm good.
my life right now. I'm
Me.
scared and I want to go home. I'm
never,
well. How are you?
I'll be honest. I was never afraid of my dad because mostly he didn't give a fuck.
Oh.
But my mom, terrified. I watched her straight up like Debo from Friday, our neighbor, one day because he said some shit about me and my friend, my neighbor Chris. Because we were out, we were like playing in our little yard. We were like playing in our little yard, and this dude comes out, and he starts like throwing shit at us. Okay, he starts throwing rocks and all this bullshit. We come running in the house, and Mom's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "This neighbor, I don't know what the fuck. He's throwing shit at us." And she comes out, and she runs up on him, and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing to my child?" And blah, blah, blah. And he looks at her, and he just says, "Children should be seen and not heard, and if they are, you cut their throats."
Oh.
And me and my friend are behind my mom. We hear this and we both went,
I'm dying.
And she looked this motherfucker and just smiled as big as she could.
Hey, I'm gonna try
Everything
to find
was
a
cool.
charger.
And out of nowhere, just wow, uppercut, and this fool from the middle of the alleyway flew into his yard. You know, boom, and he was out cold. And she just turned around and said, "Fuck with my son again, and I'll kill you." And started walking in, and I was like, "Mom's a goddamn G." Like my dad, but you don't fuck with Mom. No.
No, dude. His mom. This man's mother right here.
Bro.
Tell him.
Oh. So my uncle had a brief stunt in marriage with a lady, and it didn't end well. So my mom drives over to the house, but she parks her car a block away. Everyone's like, "Why?" Like the people that went with her is like, why are you parking all the way over here?" She's like,
I know.
"I want her to know that I'm coming." She walks to the house, and as soon as this woman opens the door, she just decks this woman.
I was gonna say, I know why.
I'm back.
Because my mom has a philosophy she taught all of us.
And she's told me many times.
In moments of action, you act. There's no talking.
If you're gonna shoot, shoot.
If someone and they have anger in their eyes, there's no negotiation. You stick them.
Yep.
You stick them till they're down. Then you have dialogue.
Yeah.
You be asleep, but you have dialogue then.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. As the Proverbs of Mrs. Z. Bless them.
No. I mean, I think it's been brought up here before.
Like no more.
But obviously, when I was younger, I attended Catholic school, and they didn't really break up a lot of. There wasn't like elementary, junior high, high school. You had everybody from like preschool to like 8th grade in the same school, and I had this big 8th grade O'Doyle rules looking motherfucker just bullying me on a daily basis. I'm in 2nd grade. He's in 8th. And he's bullying me every fucking day. Like, I'm coming home, my shirt's torn, my lips busted. He's taking my lunch money. And my mom was like, "Oh, no, this shit ain't happening no more." She gets on the phone. She calls my godfather. My godfather was a Golden Gloves boxer. She says, "Take him out, teach him to fight." And I was like, you want me to fight?" She's like, "Oh, no, the next time he starts something, you fucking finish it." Really? So I went with my uncle, and we had like Christmas break. One, my uncle, every day trained. we go back to school beginning of like January or whatever, and I'm at lunch, or I'm headed in to get my food. This motherfucker stops me. Give me your fucking money. I'm like, blow me. You know, basically. I was like, what now? And long story short, my mom gets a call from the principal, says, you got to come get your kid. He's been in a fight, which is not unusual. But this time when she pulls in, she gets to the office, she sees me sitting there, and I'm clean as a whistle. Over in the corner is the nurse's office, and this motherfucker, his nose is broken, his jaw is broken, he's missing a tooth, blood, you know, just swollen eye. And when she asks, like, oh, what happened? And the principal tries to tell my mother, well, your son started a fight with that 8th grader. She's like, you expect me to believe that my, 2nd grade son started a fight with an 8th grader? She's like, no, I'll tell you what happened. That motherfucker's been picking on my son. You know it because you called me to pick my son up from the nurse's office at least 4 times in the last month.
Left on East Weaver Road toward Aberdeen Road, then turn right onto Aberdeen Road.
Y'all couldn't hear that. Good job.
Yeah, we could. I was going to say, I didn't know we were going anywhere.
We're going on a road trip.
She said to him, you literally
I
called
do
me.
kind of have to get ready to head out, guys. I gotta hop on this PowerPoint presentation.
Oh shit, that's right, man. No, it's cool. Hang up, go do you, man. Thank you so much.
Alrighty,
This has been longer than I thought.
Good luck on your presentation.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Uncle Keenan. We love you.
I love y'all too. Later.
Peace. Oh, okay. So she says to this principal, no, what really happened was you turned a blind eye at my son getting bullied. My son finally fought the fuck back and finished it. Now you want to blame him for starting to fight with a kid who's 5-10 times his size. Bullshit. Either I could take my kid out of this school or you can let him go back to class. And the principal's just like, because she's got that look of like daggers in her eyes and face red and everything else. Like she's about to beat his ass the way I laid out this 8th grader. I can tell because I've seen that look. I've been on the wrong end of that look, and I don't like it. So I'm like, part of me is like, yeah, and the rest of me is like, back off because she might get you next.
Oh no.
and it was just they sent me home that day. They said he can come back. He's not suspended. Just make sure he's all right. And when I got in the car, she was like, what happened? I said, I fucking finished it. She said, good. Nobody fucks with my son. And eventually I ended up in public school. So yeah. About a year later. But it's just they don't, like I said, they don't make people like they used to. I'm a parent and they don't make parents like they used to.
Nope, they really don't.
You don't have to be one, but I am one, and I try to be as old school as possible without making it, too hard on my son. But they don't make parents like they used to. You don't see a lot of moms just giving somebody a Street Fighter uppercut in the middle of a yard because they said some shit about their son. You just don't see it anymore. You don't or tell you, when it's time to act, you fucking do something. You have all these people saying, "Oh, turn the other cheek." Why? So they can punch you in it? Like,
although that was a bit of an insult. Like I had read somewhere that turning the other cheek is basically like saying, like, you ain't shit. I'm still up and you ain't shit.
Well, yeah, I guess you could be a dick about it. You could be snobby, but like I'm just saying they don't make people and parents like they used to, but yet we still got this bullshit that we were talking about. And it goes back to that old quote, with all the progress, where's the fucking progress?
Sure.
You might see it here because you'll see people like me and Uncle Keenan and these guys cutting up, just talking about whatever. But you don't see that everywhere, obviously.
What was it? I always abide by what they said in Men in Black. The person is smart, the people are stupid. When you get this all together in these masses,
yes,
that's when you're going
to individuals can be smart. People as a whole are fucking stupid.
My computer's fritzing out.
Oh no. Probably because it's been on forever in a fucking day. It's just like, you know, there's a way things should be. There's a way that they are, and you figure with all this progress, maybe we'd be there by now. But I've been, you know, like all this shit with cops. I'm sorry, I'm 41, and it's not new to me. I was involved in some shit like that when I was 8 years old. It's not new to me. Like, you know, me and my buddy playing like cops and robbers with the neighborhood kids, and we had the guns that look real because it's the 80s. Toy guns look just like regular guns. They didn't have the orange tips, none of it. When cop sees us and comes like just
With orange cap.
flying, no orange cap, nothing, but sees us, comes flying up, like hops up on the curb, lights going, the whole nine. And we had already seen in school, like if it, you know, cops had already told you, if a cop runs up on you like that, you get on your knees, you put your hands in the air. So that's exactly what we did. We put the toy guns down, we put our hands in the air, we got on our knees. The cop walks up. I look like me. My buddy is black. Cop walks up, goes right past me, kicks my buddy dead in the fucking chest. Turns around. I'd never even seen cops with zip ties. He had them. Grabs my friend, pulls his arms and legs together, starts zip tying the both of them, and then zip ties them together. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm still sitting there like this, like, what the hell? And literally, he's putting a knee in my friend's back. My friend is screaming, crying, saying, I don't know what I did. And I'm still sitting there like this, like I'm not even there anymore. And finally, like after a few minutes, all the shit, like I put my hand on the officer's shoulder and I went, you're hurting him. And he turned around and maced my ass. And it took the neighborhood parents to come out and ask this guy, like, what the fuck did they do? Why are you doing this? Like, these kids are terrified. One of them's screaming, holding his eyes. The other one's hogtied. Like, what the fuck did they do? And he's like, they were brandishing firearms. He said, they're fucking toys. Like, yeah, and literally by the time he got out of that car, it was like, I didn't even exist until it was time to get maced because I put my hand on his shoulder because he was fucking my friend up. And I, you know, even when my friend's parents showed up, they tried to blame me, like, oh, you got him into trouble, you got him this, you got him that. My mom looked at his parents and said, Dom, what did you do when this all went down? I said, I tried to stop it. Okay, what happened? The cop maced me. And my mom looked at his family and said, does it sound like these kids are that different? And immediately his parents whipped around and said, you know, sorry, thank you. You know, at least you tried. And I was like, of course, you know, he's my friend. I don't give a fuck. Like, because it was that simple. Like, everybody lived in the same neighborhood. We all hung out together, played together. We didn't give a fuck. But some cops do, some people do. And that was 33 fucking years ago. And since then, there's been time after time after time of this reported police brutality. And then it's like we just go through the steps where people get mad and they want to protest or they want to riot and they want to do this and they want to do that. Nothing ever really changes. I've seen it from when I was 8. Now I'm 41. I have a 9-year-old. It still happens. So with all the fucking progress, where's the fucking progress?
Doesn't seem like there's much, to be honest. I mean, this is something that we could go on for hours on end. And I mean, I don't think I have the heart for it anymore.
That was damn near therapeutic myself because I'm watching this shit happen again. And I'm watching it happen almost the same way as it did with Rodney King. I mean, honestly, it was probably like Rodney King and OJ were like damn near a year or two apart. So we're talking 25 years ago. And it still happens. Every time it happens, what changes? What do we fucking learn from it? Individuals learn, but as people,
it happens all over again. We don't learn anything, and that's why it repeats, and it cycles through all over again.
Right.
And it's disheartening.
It is. It's sad as hell. You can just think, but no. Like, people learn, you know, but some people, individuals learn here, there, whatever. We can have discussions like this with people like this. Yeah. And unfortunately, people as a whole, most of them don't learn. No. So you just see the same thing happen over and over, and it breaks your fucking heart because you're like, man, I'm not like that, but there might be somebody out there who thinks that I am because of the way I look.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that alone just makes me want to sit here and wipe my eyes too. Because I've never looked at anyone and thought to myself, oh, well, they're different than me, so that's weird, or I can't I can't chill with them. I'm better than them. Never. I was basically raised to believe we're all the same. Like we all have the same problems, the same struggles.
I just said how it's up.
Oh, I thought I was saying hi, Joe. Yeah, what's up, man?
Sorry. On that note, friend, it's getting late.
Yeah.
Get to bed.
Yeah, we're gonna get out of here. Get
This
some
guy
sleep.
has to work in the morning, and this girl has to move her office tomorrow.
Yeah, and this guy is probably gonna have to figure out a way to split this up as long as we've been. But I do want to thank. I do want to thank anybody that's watched this or listened to this the whole way through. Please come follow us at Drunk Upon a Time on Twitter. Hit us up at on our podcast platforms, anchor.fm/Foxden. And of course, look for Foxden Productions on YouTube if you are listening to us. We've got a couple of shows, we've got a lot of content, and just fucking learn already. You know, if you haven't, fucking do it. Don't make us come and call you an idiot on next week's show. That's all I'm saying.
Seriously, just don't be a dick. Come on.
And thank you, of course, to Grandma Wendy and Jose and Unky Keenan, you know, everybody that showed up tonight. I appreciate the hell out of this. We will be back to you soon. Stay safe, drink responsibly, and again, fucking learn. That's all. If you haven't yet, fucking learn.
About time. Come on. Get it together, y'all.
Enjoy, y'all. Peace.
Bye. Stay fresh, cheese bags.
There it is.